Beauty is the way to love, exposing all contracts of meaning. FUD, an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of FUD. Most people in a position of influence yielding their personal bias instead of holding space and accepting that the fear that emanates from the current chaos is something to first be accepted as a human. Two, it can be used as a springboard to actually change a perspective. The nodes squaring the last full moon have been a perfect terrain for that. What do I still have to inquire that can give me a wider perspective instead of keep me in the jail of my certainty? All perspectives are tinted with half truths. So, isn't it great to be able to be alive today to discover multiple ways to evolve? My writings are not abstract. In the contrary, they're meant to make you dive deeper into your own inquiry. I challenge anyone who disagrees with me to establish an eloquent dialogue. I have been training in the dojo of social media for the past years. My truth is not absolute. I still learn new things every day, but I'm not afraid to speak up anymore. Cojones, balls, pale. You know what I mean. The worst thing that can happen is the inevitable, and that is death. So between here and there, be brave. As much as I hated my last name growing up for the amount of jokes I was submitted to, I learned to love it and live by it. Not every decision I have made has gone great, but I can attest that when I'm not in my authentic aura and I don't trust my instincts, I don't take time for my emotional wave, even to respond to a comment. All goes to poo poo and gets misaligned. 2 days ago, I was mourning a part of me that lived on projections, on ideals that served me well until now. I give thanks to the people and situations that allow this energy to snap into a different timeline. Own your shit, people. It is as simple as doing your bed in the morning, even if you have help. Brush your teeth and be caring towards your vessel. Self abandonment was the keyword this week that reminded me of what I don't want. To drown in an ocean of pity and blame, the collective blob for my lack of accountability? Short and sweet, I have no more to say. Just be fucking happy if you dare. Bombs, riots, injustices all around. What are you creating that speaks about the field of life? See you at the turn of the week. I've been praying to keep my soul aligned to my purpose as I came here to evolve, and to do so by creating beautiful situations, environments, images, and things. Speaking of which, I'm going to leave you with the introduction of a chapter from my book, The Nature of My Reality. Have fun. I'll see you when I see you. Footnote: FUD is often used to describe disinformation, emotional manipulation, especially in politics, media, or markets, intended to destabilize perception, confuse clarity, and weaken resolve. The Nature of My Reality. Monica Bravo, edit and co-produced by Mary Butlong, Studio of Endless Ideas. This book is a journey of breaking free from conditioning, exiting the matrix, and discovering that my perspective was constantly being challenged, prompting me to move physically, mentally, and emotionally. Only with distance and time have I been able to reconstruct a sense of service for the times ahead. The practices I share are not meant to be used as a textbook, as they reflect my personal integration of ideas, some of which I'm still exploring deeply. In the months or years ahead, I will gain even more clarity. My hope is to inspire you to embark on your own path of self-discovery and deciphering your unique journey. August 2024. The Nature of My Reality has a cover and a book designed by Monica Bravo. The illustrations are adaptations from original internet source material, skillfully vectorized to harmonize the book's visual and thematic narrative. Everything I Need is in My Body, Book 1. To my ancestors, the sages, the mentors, and those who courageously share their transmission in the form of their own wisdom with me. To my late mother, from whom I learned that love is eternal. I'm going to describe an image that I have on the left side. arithmetic being the study of numbers, geometry being the study of the numbers in space, music being the study of numbers in time, and astronomy is the study of numbers in time and space. These are called the quadrivium. Now we have the trivium, which is grammar, logic, rhetoric. So rhetoric is criticism and persuasion. Logic is relations between facts, cause and effect. And grammar are facts and rules. The five senses, which are taste, smell, touch, hearing, and sight. Quote, there's no point, so therefore I'm not even going to feel. I'm not even going to feel what's going on. I don't know what to do with this energy. It is too much. I'm going to numb and disconnect myself. My old self some time ago. Intro. In the beginning. February 2024. Since my youth, I've been an avid reader with tales to share about books, book fairs, and book clubs. Astrology entered my life when I was around 10 or 11 years old. I distinctly recalled it was around the time we moved to a new house after my father's passing. I've always been drawn to the world of reading, writing, and sharing experiences. And so a journey unfolds, one that commenced decades ago, but it has been significantly shaped in the last 18 months. It's a journey marked by an integration of various practices, languages, coordinates, nomenclatures, and archetypes. Throughout this nonlinear narrative, I'll seamlessly weave in vocabulary that may seem esoteric, yet its etymology refers belonging to an inner circle. This vocabulary reveals a depth akin to a secret language. Indeed, astrology is not a belief system, it is a language, one that requires delving into its symbology and the playful conjugation of archetypes, which, once deciphered, are found to be imbued with meaning. Quote, in the beginning, there was a young and inquisitive child named Monica, born Monica with a C and an accent on the O. Now she writes it with a K. Hungry for knowledge about how the universe worked, she was insatiable in her quest for understanding, constantly bombarding everybody around her with questions. Are there more galaxies? Can I go to the moon like the astronauts? Dad, how many languages can I learn? Her curiosity knew no bounds, often driving those around her to the brink of madness. Yet, despite her persistent questioning, she remained undeterred. Footnote. When I was learning to read and write, I noticed that I didn't like the accent on the O in Monica, nor did I feel connected to that spelling. I asked if I could change the way I wrote my name. After all, it was my name. However, I had to endure many teachers asking me to write endless notebooks with what they say was the correct spelling before I grew up and changed it legally. When my father passed away unexpectedly in a car crash, his extensive collection of books would become my shelter. He had been a voracious reader, a curious soul, much like myself, and his shelves were lined with the works of Nietzsche, Carl Jung, psychology, many history tomes, including the infamous Das Kapital, and countless chess magazines adorned with cutouts of famous games. He was a music lover, and his LP collection was impressive. Amidst these treasures, my fascination with the mysteries of the cosmos only deepened. Some time ago, I said something like this. Looking for my father and his books, I found a way to reconnect to myself. One fateful day, aged 11 or 12, probably around 1975, our family driver, Señor Beltran, escorted me to the annual book fair in Bogota. Alone amidst the bustling crowds, I stumbled upon an astrologer and struck up a conversation. In the course of our discussion, I found myself drawn to a large tome, American Ephemeris for the 20th Century, 900 to 2000, a journal detailing celestial movements, its price far exceeding the allowance my mother had given me to buy books that day. But I knew I had to have it. Upon returning home with the stranger and the driver, I pleaded my mother, who seemed surprised at the presence of this stranger in her house, to cover the cost, confident that one day I would unlock the mysteries held within its pages. Little did I know that this red-bound book containing celestial positions for the entirety of the 20th century was perhaps laying the groundwork for my journey into the depths of astrology. Another significant book, the Taoist I Ching, was purchased at the airport bookstore during a family trip to Venezuela a little later in time. I still have that book. Fast forward several decades, here I am. I find myself willing to share with you, the reader, an experience that embodies a journey of liberation, a path towards individuation, and at the same time, I'm being playful about how I would like to share this information. Divided in three parts, not necessarily in a linear narrative, I have deconstructed this publication and have treated it the same way I treat my artwork. Very loose and abstract, only looking for possible patterns that may lead to a connection, but leaving enough space for you to have your own experience while you relate to it. This process leads me to ways of expressing myself that will make sense once it is finished. Astrology is not a static construct, but a vibrant, evolving entity. It pulsates within each of us, continuously evolving alongside our expanding consciousness, resonating uniquely within each individual. At its core, it serves as a language and a tool for observing and correlating archetypes and symbols that mirror aspects of our psyche and unconscious realms. These symbols may initially seem nonsensical or enigmatic, yet upon exploration they reveal profound meanings. Resonating with Carl Jung's perspective, astrology is not meant to be rigidly constrained, but rather embraced as a catalyst or vehicle for self-exploration and revelation. It calls us to delve into the depths of our inner selves, revealing pathways to personal development and insight. Evolutionary astrology also delves in a fundamental principle known as the Trinity. It's more than just a collection of astrological components like signs, planets, and houses, along with their inherent polarities. Rather, it embodies a synthesis and integration that draws upon individual experiences and perspectives, encapsulating the complete spectrum of potentiality. There is some wariness not to reduce these archetypes, words, and concepts to mere definitions devoid of experiential richness. Astrology is alive, just like we are. Our chart is also breathing these changes, as we are embodying the archetypes as a trinity on a moment to moment basis. In my experience, the trinity offers an openness, a vast field of infinite possibilities, which emerges as one bravely enters into a relationship with the unconscious. This relating is a way to awaken those truths that lie dormant until they become visible. In other words, the shadow or the fear leads us to the path of light and truth. True understanding demands a stripping away of mental constraints, allowing the heart to open to the full experience of existence, including its shadows and complexities. Embracing the discomfort of pain, fear, and frustration unveils potentials that lead to a transformative awakening from the confines of conditioned existence, liberating us from the burdens of guilt and shame. In essence, astrology emerges not merely as a framework, but as an environment, a dynamic interplay of energies within a cosmic design and the vessel of the human body. In my personal astrological journey, the alignment of Uranus and Pluto in a balsamic conjunction within my 7th and 8th houses, opposing Saturn and Chiron, has prompted a profound call to discernment as I dive deep into the mysteries of the universe. It urges me to liberate myself from all relationships that cultivate codependencies, hindering my sovereignty, and to establish clear boundaries. Somehow, the liberation from past trauma stemmed from recognizing that I was not being able to connect to my needs. I tasked myself with remaining vigilant against the pervasive energies of victimization that permeate the collective consciousness. Mindfulness in my interactions, guided by the principles of the 7th house and the Venus function in Libra, becomes paramount. Feedback manifests as emptiness, a cessation of projection and expectation, a state of pure being akin to Zen and Taoist philosophies. Embracing the present moment in all its dimensions allows me to transcend the shackles of self-sacrifice and reclaim my inherent power. In this journey, I will refer to practices that serve as tools for navigating the unconscious, bringing light to the psyche, such as human design and the Taoist I Ching, somatic therapy, breathwork, and the introduction to praxeology, human action, and the science of human behavior, with its methodological approach rather than empirical observations. Praxeology aims to build a coherent framework to understand economic phenomena and broader social structures. It provides insights into how individuals interact with the markets, how they respond to incentives, and how they create and utilize institutions to facilitate cooperation and coordination. You will find I have woven the illustrations into a pattern for your own discovery. As my dear mom used to say to me all the time, enjoy. Footnote number 2. An evolutionary cycle has reached its culmination concerning the planetary function of the involved planets. That is the conjunction between Pluto and Uranus that I was talking about. From the waning semi-square to the conjunction, the process of self-loss or the merging of the self into cosmic wholeness was set in motion. Uranus and Pluto converged in 1965 and prior to that in 1710 and 454, marking each instance of their joint journey or synodos occurring every 256 years.